Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Miss Sabrina Seoul, and tonight we are all ready to love, but this is not what we're talking about. Tonight we are going to be talking about single soulmates, but tonight I have a special guest panel. Just to let everybody know, this is the third season of Single Soulmates. So it was a little different last season, and it was a little bit different last season, and every season we're just growing into something more, and it's something so amazing because these are topics that we need to discuss, okay? Just to let everyone know, this is the first episode of this season. So I am going to be rotating every week. One week I'm going to have a men's panel. The next week a women's. The next week men, women. We're going to be talking about all different things. Love, marriage, relationships, sex. Romance. We're going to be talking about everything. And just to let you know that if you are still interested in shooting your shot, you can come on up and we will put you on the screen and you can shoot your shot. I'm not necessarily saying to the people that's up here, I'm just saying just to let everybody know you single, you ready to mingle, okay? But anyway, I want to get started. Oh my God, I'm so excited about tonight. Shout out to you guys that's joining us. I see the numbers just rising. If you have not liked this video, make sure you click the thumbs up. If you are new here, shout out to you. Welcome to my soulmate community and family. But let's get the rolling. I'm going to go around the room. I'm not going to go around the room. We're going to go around the room. I want everybody to introduce themselves, let them know where they can find you and where you're from. Like if you're on the show, whatever, you know, so definitely put it out there.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone Wilson here. I was on Ready to Love DC. You can find me at TyWilson21. It feels so good to be back. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. It's going to be a pleasure being here with the fellas from the most recent season. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Yes. Blake?
Good evening. This is Blake, Ready to Love Miami. Pleasure being back with some of my brothers and some of my new brothers. I look forward to some good conversations and having some people, on my side for these conversations. And hopefully we can all relate. And if all else fails, just so you know, I'm blaming Lyndon.
That's what they all do, man. It's
Anthony?
Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony, season 7, Ready to Love Miami 2.0. You can find me at I am Anthony _, Anthony NP. Just great to be here. I look up to this panel and I'm excited about tonight.
Johan? You're on mute. There you go.
Yeah, of course, the rookie, right? So again, my name is Yohan. I was not on Ready to Love. Huge fan of the show. Glad to be on Sabrina's channel, and thanks for having me. And glad to meet you all.
Pio?
Yo, what's going on? It's P.O. You already know what it is. I'm not going to bother with the extra stuff. You already know where to find me. You know, it is what it is. Happy to be here with, first time around with the new fellas, the newest alumni, Lizzie Blake, and Aggravated Anthony, and my countryman, my brethren, Lyndon. Yes.
Yo.
You know, this is what we do.
Lyndon?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Lyndon. I'm from Ready to Love Miami, the most recent season. Also a musician. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Sabrina, I was just with you last week.
You were.
And thanks for having me back, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedules and being here with me this evening. I so appreciate it because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are with me tonight, at least for about an hour. Okay. So yeah. Tonight, I just asked you guys in the chat to keep it respectful. Let's watch the language. Let's make sure we don't talk over each other, but I still want us to have fun and speak your truth in the discussions that we're having. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to everything tonight. Just depends on how the chat is going to go and how our discussion is going to go. But tonight, I want to discuss, why do men cheat? Do men prefer natural women? Or is it okay for her to be a little blunt blunt? Do men prefer to be single, or do you guys prefer to be in a relationship? And the last discussion topic is, when do you know when you are in love? Okay. Now, I know we actually started this off behind the scenes and it kind of had me in the hot seat. So just don't put me in the hot seat. No, I'm just joking. It's no rules. It's no rules. So let's just have fun. Chat, I am going to be putting some of your comments and questions on the screen. So definitely interact with us and let's get ready. So I just need to know, like, why y'all be cheating?
Yeah.
Lyndon.
It's a setup. It's a setup.
Right away, Lyndon.
No, yeah, I'll start off. Honestly, I'm not the cheating type. Like if I'm not in a relationship and I'm like sleeping with multiple women, I'm just gonna be honest about that. I don't believe that lying really gets you very far. I feel like most women, if you just give them the truth and let them know this is not this is just going to be this, I don't know, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to really make a difference. So yeah, I've we use the word player and throw that around, but I've had those times, but I'm honest with everyone. If I'm in a relationship, then I'm just in, a relationship, and I've chosen to do this as opposed to doing that. I'm not a married man. I've never been married. So, I know that's a whole different story about being with someone and married for years and years. But personally, I've always found that lying gets you into more trouble than not.
Exactly. So true. You get so much more booty and so much more further with the truth.
True. That's the thing. I don't understand.
Right, it's true. Like, oh, dang. He said he dealing with 3 other women. All right, well, as long as he was honest with me.
Exactly.
That's all we want. Just keep it real.
I've never understood the concept of being I love you, girl. Like
when you start lying, we don't even think about it. We just know you lied. That's the story. And we sticking with it, and we gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on why men cheat?
I do. I'm sorry.
I have one, and it has never wavered. I always say men cheat because the thrill of the hunt outweighs the loss of losing the girl.
You've always said that.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, I've always understood it. I mean, I'm kind of with Lyndon, right? I think that just letting people know what's up, things tend to work out a little bit better. But what I find in looking around in the conversations, right, I find that men cheat down and women cheat up. And men cheat down because men have no interest in losing the woman that they're with, right? Women cheat up because they're looking for something equal to or better than if they get caught, right? So I can't tell you why, like, the person does it, but it doesn't seem like it's like when they get caught, they're like, yeah, well, I didn't want to be with you anyway, so it's over. You know what I mean? It's always kind of like yeah, but you're the one that I really cared about type situation, right? So I don't know. It's always been interesting. I think that's specific to, the cheater, though. I think everybody has their own reasons.
I have to agree. Go ahead, Pio.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say, I think a lot of men, they cheat because of insecurities, right? Because I feel like some men get the, what can I say? They get a power surge when they get to take something that's the most valuable from a woman. And some men feel like that's what makes them feel like a man, being able to devour multiple women. So
I've also had a dude tell me, right, who he was losing his family or whatever, but he said for him, just the feeling of being desired was enough, right? He was no longer feeling desired in his situation or appreciated in his situation. So this woman, she gave him a simple compliment on his shirt. He was like, what can I buy you? And it just kind of spiraled from there. So I don't think it's always just down to like a man not being satisfied. I think that there's multiple levels to this to really look at that individual, look at the relationship and the relationship, that he's in, his relationship with God or whatever, drives him. So I think that's why everybody probably got quiet when you asked that question, because it's a loaded question.
It is.
It's crazy because I agree with Blake so much, and I was just about to input and say every man has a different level of degree in why he's cheated. And I feel like women automatically assume it's one thing. We're selfish, we're dogs, we're focused on one thing. Where I feel like every man is individualized, it's not generalized. And I feel like it boils down to a man's purpose, where you are in life, what you're accepting, how much work you're willing to put in your relationship, in different your circumstance as well on why you cheat. It's not always I saw this bad woman walking by, so I had to talk to her. Every man is individualized. We just tend to think like, oh my gosh, all men are dogs. We just want to sleep with everything walking, and that's not the case with cheating.
Yeah.
I think also it's a lack of self identity that we have sometimes. As men, as we're developing, generally what we don't do, or most of us don't do, is healing the little boy inside of us. So when we start chasing, career, colleges and degrees and all this stuff, we generally forget self-development and self-identity. And by the time that you are in a position where you are successful and you're getting all those women, if you don't necessarily have like something that you healed inside of you, for example, like Blake mentioned, somebody's going to say, I like your shirt. That's self-identity issue because you are not a secure man. So knowing the kind of men that you want to become early on and working towards that all the time kind of like helps you understand your choices. Because then once you have the woman, like Tyrone said, you start thinking the choices that I'm making here, who is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt my family? Is it going to hurt the woman I love? Is it going to hurt me losing my family? And I think that a lot of us don't do that work until we may be one divorce in or like a long relationship in, and now we start unraveling a lot of things about ourselves as men.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Blake.
No, I wanted to kind of add on this just to bring a little bit of weight back to you, Sabrina, because this is a topic that I hear come up a lot, especially for Black men and Black men cheating. So I would like to ask you, Black men, for the most part, aren't cheating with other Black men. They're cheating with women that know that these men are married, right? So why do women deal with men that they know are married? Why do women romanticize like the idea of don't start scratching? Why do they romanticize this idea of like love and love conquering all and collateral damage doesn't matter, but then jump on the other side when they become victims of it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Blake. And every time I've been in a relationship, it's almost like every single girl in the world is like throwing you signs. I think there's something, and it doesn't work like that when you're single. It's only when you have a girl. I think there's something about a man in a relationship that is intriguing to women. And I think that you're looking at a girl who has done all the legwork for you, right? It's like you're looking at a guy and the girl he's with has already vetted him. He has a woman, you know what I mean? They're together and everything. And it skips that I got to figure out if he's a good boyfriend or a husband thing for them to work out themselves. But I've always been a believer that women are way more attractive to guys that are in relationships than single guys. And like,
you know why, Lyndon?
Why?
Because when you get in a relationship, you're removing all the attention that you're giving to the woman. So when you step into that space, the woman can feel that. So when Tyrone is walking into the restaurant, there's a group of 5 ladies right there. He already know he ain't gonna look. And if he ain't looking, they're already frustrated about the fact that he's not looking.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's true.
You see what I mean? So
you can't even look. Don't even look.
Hey man, when you're even in a happy relationship, you don't even think about that. Because half the time you're going to pick up your girl's carry-out order. She's already texting you where you are. So you're already stressed out that like, okay, I'm gonna get this woman her food. She keep texting me and trying to So you get your food, you're about to walk out. Here's one of the women like, yo, you ain't gonna say hi to nobody? All of a sudden you think that the text that you got is worth losing and chasing the hello that you're getting at the bar. remember how Tyrone was saying, like, you know, the woman that you have is worth losing because for the thrill of the chase. I'm just paraphrasing, but I think that a lot of us is like that because we like checked out. We focus on one woman. We're doing our thing, and women can essentially sense that wherever you are going, they can sense it. And even worse, when you have a ring on your finger. And for us, just as human beings, just as men, as hunters that we are, we generally trying to like figure out if that's what we can do or not. So yeah.
Tyrone, what were you about to say? Because I want to hear what you have to say. You've been trying to say it too very patiently.
First, I was going to say, Blake, that was a really nice pivot. 12 minutes in. We
Right, and then Lyndon went ahead and pulled it right back, right?
He did.
I was like,
It's true. She skated under that.
Good job, bro. Good job. If I was going to work backwards, I would say like women find the men that are in relationships desirable because we've already been validated by other women, by their friends, by their families, by their parents. So that's less work that they got to do. And I feel like women subconsciously are thinking about the man who's best suited to take care of them and to take care of their kids. So if you can show those traits, you know, when you walk in a room, be it you're getting respect from other men, whether you are strong, whether you're wealthy, like if you can show all those things or say all those things without necessarily saying it, then they're going to desire you. It's just what it is. So when we were talking about, I think Johan made a point about the guys cheating and why we're doing it. Like I literally, because Johan was talking about being honest with ourselves and feeling either underappreciated, a lack of self-love, a lack of self-confidence in yourself. Trust me, I went through the whole gamut of that. I literally created a whole alter ego for myself, you know, and if you ever hung out with that guy, then you know that that guy is a really cool guy to hang out with, right? But I realized that I created that alter ego for myself because I was truly hurting, right? I needed that confidence. I needed something in me to be like, yo, people do like me. I can get girls. I can't do this. I can't do that. Because subconsciously I was lacking it from my father my father not being present, not being able to trust women, what have you. So I ended up having to be honest in myself. And I feel like a lot of men aren't honest at the beginning of the relationship and who they are and what they want in this particular relationship. And sometimes because they aren't truthful, they end up going through a situation that they really don't want to be in. And it makes it worth the risk of cheating and losing. So that's why I said men cheat, because the thrill of the hunt outweighs the loss of losing the girl. If you are with a woman that you felt is the best thing to ever happen to you, there's no way you're going to risk that. So what women are doing to make a man feel that way is totally, you know, on them. There's some things that y'all need to figure out about that. So, you know, that's really where I was going with it, you know?
Yeah.
But Sabrina, I'm sorry, Linda. Sabrina, you never chimed in on my question. You kind of let it slip on by. So, you know, I really want to hear from the other side since, you know, we having this group discussion.
I was about to say Linda answered. No, just no. So I feel like in the beginning, the reason that women decide to deal with married men is one, because they probably don't want the headache. They know like the married man is married in real life. If he wants some of this, then guess what? I'm gonna get something out of it too. So her mindset is thinking, I'm about to go on some trips. I'm about to get them new shoes. I'm about to get a new bag. I'm about to get, because guess what? He's married.
Right.
So he obviously wants something to play with. He want to play with me. He gonna have to pay to play.
So the question though is understanding that part, not to cut you off, but just understanding that part, right? Why then get devastated when you, as that woman that was dealing with the married man, are now cheated on?
Sound like you experienced
like I said in the beginning, That's her mindset. But women are very emotional creatures. So
Okay.
what happens is as time goes on, their feelings start to develop for this man because they can't separate the gifts and the trips and all that from love. So they start to put the two together and think like, this man loves me. He's showing up for me. He's telling me how beautiful I am. He's taking me on these trips. So they think that they in a whole relationship with this person. And that's what happens. So when they get cheated on, how are they cheated on? Because the man is married. He cheating on his girlfriend with his wife, or is he cheating on his wife with his girlfriend? So, but that woman at this point in the relationship situationship, she's just delusional. But she's so wrapped into what she's doing now, she's just too far deep into realizing that this ain't nothing. Like you provided a service that he paid for, but she can't see that far into it because she's just too deep into it. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I don't date married men. I think it's a terrible, terrible thing. But I feel like in the beginning, that's why women get into it. And a lot of times some women get into it because the men forget to tell the women that they are married.
I think that's a good point. I was going to jump in and say a lot of the times the men don't set the boundaries and they continue to allow that woman to develop feelings for him because it feels good to him instead of, pushing back and being like, yo, I'm married. We can't let it get to this. I could see you catching feelings for me. We can't let that happen.
Yeah.
Sabrina, when are you having the women panel again?
Next week.
Next week? Okay. I have a follow-up question to what Sabrina just said.
Yeah.
And I hope that the question that you have for the lady next week is similar. Because I'm gonna follow up what you just said with two really good questions that I have, because you just open up something specific here.
Yeah.
I feel like, and again, I know we're on the cheating part, right? But it's just it's a narrative that I don't like for Black men because it's really not true to that context. So it's something that I really like to kind of get through. But I just want to sum it up for me with the concept that women have behind what's considered cheating and what's not, right? You take a movie like The Notebook, right? I don't know how many of the fellas here have seen The Notebook, but it's a movie about a woman who falls in love. She's getting ready to get married. A dude from the past comes. All of a sudden, she's with the dude from the past, and all of the women think this is the greatest movie ever, right? Is she not just a cheater, right? Is she not just destroy this man's life? So I feel like sometimes when we talk about cheating, we put a context to it to be like, oh, but this is different because I knew him first. But when it's a dude, it becomes a black and white, right? Like, I thought this is where we were and this isn't where we are. So I think there's a lot to it, but I really want to bring in the fact that it's not a one-sided thing when you say, why do men cheat? Because men don't cheat alone. Men aren't cheating with men.
But I also wanted to say too, because it was a whole lot of reasons to why women. So another reason is because men be selling dreams. That's another reason. I'm gonna leave my wife. You know I love you.
Let me disagree here. So, I understand what you're saying, right? But that's, to me, that's the woman's bad. I'm sorry. That's the woman's bad. There's what you say you want, and then there's what comes easy for you and what feels good, right? A lot of times, if you're lacking something in your life, right? It's almost like having kids, right? Everybody here, I don't think Lyndon has kids. We have kids, right? And we understand that sometimes what's good for you doesn't always feel good. There's something better in the long run, and this is what we teach our kids. So my question becomes, being on my show and seeing things that have happened on my show and being open to other shows, right? It seems like the women always fall for the guys that tell them what they want to hear and not necessarily what they need to hear.
Well, that's because some of them are selling dreams, but it's women out here buying them too.
Right, but the dude is only going to sell the dream that he thinks the woman wants.
That's not true. He's gonna sell the dream to all of them, and he's gonna see which one.
No. What I'm saying is he can only sell you on the dream that you present to him that you want. So if you come to him and you're like, I want a man who's going to pay all my bills, who's going to be chivalrous, who's going to do all these things. You don't think so? You don't think women give the men the roadmap?
No, absolutely not.
I think Blake, Sabrina, if I may, I think where maybe like the nuance that and the responsibility about cheating and anything else that Sabrina wanted to know was more about how that guy who's playing the game, what is going through his mind. Now, what's going through the woman mind, you know, that's another thing, and the accountability goes on both ends. And regardless of who's doing what, I just think that the conversation here is about what were you thinking when you were about to cheat, more than what were we thinking about when we were about to cheat.
Okay. Well, I'll receive something different, because what I heard was, why do men cheat? Right. So to me, that was a blanket thing, but I totally understand where you're coming from. But it creates a narrative for me that puts, you know, men in this forefront, because it's a narrative, unfortunately, that we have about Black men, you know, that just goes around anyway. So I want to make sure that we, you know, kind of touch on the other parts of the narrative.
Yeah.
But I totally understand where you're coming from with it. Definitely.
Yeah. Just so I could quickly say, which is just, you know, a fact of life. A lot of men just cheat because they're unhappy. Right?
That's not true.
No, but it is true, because I have a lot of, look, this is not just because you get married or just because you're in a great relationship. It does not mean it's your soul mate. See how I did that, Sabrina Seoul? But it doesn't mean it's going to be forever. You know, it doesn't mean that this is the knight in shining armor, or, you know, your princess. You know, life is long, and, you know, things change, and, you know, relationships change, and, you know, people evolve. I just personally, I just know men who don't know how to break up, and they don't know how to let everything go. And I know men who will sit unhappy for years and years and years. And I'm not saying breaking up is the answer. And look, you have men who are happy that cheat also, right? I can't really speak on that, because I mean, I think that's just a bad character flaw, and you're just a bad person. But you have guys who feel so responsible for their partner that they don't know how to just call it quits. And they will sit there and be unhappy every day of their lives. And then when something fresh and new comes along, instead of just, you know, sucking it up and telling your partner, look, I'm unhappy. I've been unhappy. This is not working for me. You know,
Right.
you go out and try to sneak around to keep everybody happy.
So I want to
I
hear.
100% agree with that, Lyndon.
I was going to say first, shout out to Congo English. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, concur, Blake, 100% agree, accountability on both parts. So I want to hear from Tyrone, I want to hear from PO, and then I want to hear from Anthony.
Oh man, so you know that brings me back to, you know, guys just not being honest, you know, at the beginning about what they want and being able to express that. You know, me myself, like I feel like it took me a very long time to learn how to be honest at the beginning. And now I just bask in the glory of honesty, because it's just so much easier. To what Blake was saying, I just had to push back a little bit, Blake, because I'm sure Sabrina's going to ask the women next week, why do women cheat? It takes two to cheat, right? It takes two to cheat. And when you had mentioned the roadmap, I'm like, you're right. And, you know, I'm going to be real rap raw. Like once you get to a certain point, you know how to hunt, right? You learn how to hunt, you perfect the hunt. Do you know what I'm saying? So if it's just a woman just sitting at a table, you know how to adjust. You learn how to ask the questions, to learn who you need to be to make this woman happy. And then you just become that person. It's just what it is. It's just what we do. We may not mean no harm by it, but it's just what it is. But when it comes to cheating, like we're not animals, right? Animals can't help cheating. Animals, we're predators, you know, our eyes face forward. Therefore, we're not meant to be, you know, in relationships forever. We're not birds. You know what I mean? But we're human, so we do have the power to reason. We do know if we're cheating or not. We do know if it's going to hurt that person. So I feel like where we are going wrong is the honesty at the beginning, and then not having those conversations about what honesty is to each other. Because technically, you can be with other people and it not be considered cheating. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you
Everything
want.
except that last part. But go ahead.
Now, you're in an open relationship is what you're talking about, right? No?
What's it called? Ethically non-monogamous.
Okay, yeah. I have some friends.
PO?
So I feel like sometimes men will cheat because they're not connected to, what we say as men, a feminine side, right? We haven't received the love from our mother or, those women around us. And so we try to capitalize on it and, meet multiple women, be with multiple women, and use that as, sort of a way to connect with, that sensitivity that we have lost over years, right? Like, you have some guys that don't know what love really means. What does that really mean? Does that mean that the more women that you're with physically, does that mean that, that's love? I mean, not understanding what that true picture looks like is, can kind of be, one of the, I don't know, I think it can be a gateway to, spiral and, dating multiple women and, just trying to, capitalize on that.
Anthony?
I think this conversation just shows that there are so many different. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds like you're far away though.
How about now? Is that better or no?
No, it was better when you had your ear pods in earlier.
Hello. Can you hear
It
me?
sounds like they're off.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear. It's better.
Okay, so I think this conversation just shows that no matter how you look at it, there are different levels and there are different experiences to why men cheat at the end of the day. As to what I said, purpose. Like literally, you can come up with any rule in the rule book. You'll never get one answer to why men cheat. At the end of the day, you are who you are. You like what you like. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. At the end of the day, I've been in situations where I only saw a certain young lady. You couldn't tell me anything in the world. Like when you are tunnel vision, you want your person, you have purpose, you know what you want, you know what's going to hurt that person at the end of the day. You're not going to do anything to jeopardize that. No matter what it is, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual. So all these men on this panel have given you different reasons to why men can cheat. And it just shows you're not going to get one answer.
Yeah. And I hope that the women are taking notes because it's a lot of different reasons. And it's crazy that, and I'm so glad that I have this panel that women can look back and because there's women out here right now that's not celebrating Cinco de Mayo. They're at home on the couch with a bucket of ice cream, some cookies, crying, talking about why he cheated on me. Girl, watch this back, girl. You know what
So
I'm saying?
let me ask you this though, because you can't get away with that comment and close the segment. So you don't think that people just cheat, period? You know what I mean? Like you don't think there's some dude right now crushed because he just found out a kid isn't his that he's married to and paying child support for? I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just feel like it should be like a across the board. Like why do people cheat?
This is why we call them 9 lives.
Yeah, it's the men's panel. It's the men's panel right now.
So basically,
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I get it though. I get it. I totally do. But I don't. It's just.
I never
It just
said
doesn't feel.
women didn't cheat. I never said women didn't cheat.
No. I'm not. And the question isn't do women cheat at all. What I'm saying is you don't think that everything that we're saying, women would say the same thing. Like Ant said, everybody has their reasons.
Yes.
You don't think that for every reason that we have, women have the same reasons for it to be like a conversation on why people cheat?
I want to say it's probably 100,000 different reasons. You know what I mean? It's only 6 of you up here now. I'm sure if I had 6 other guys up here, they would have different reasons. You know, we don't know. We don't know what's in your head. You know what I'm saying? So for whatever reasons that men do cheat, y'all just gave me the reasons of why y'all think. Now, your reasons, all you guys' reasons is probably different from my reasons. You know what I mean? But how women think and comprehend things is really different than how you guys think. Like, you know, we're from Venus, you guys are from Mars. That is really some real shit. Like, you know what I mean?
I think
Like,
she's asking
we're
us
wired differently.
I think she's asking us why men cheat because it's a male panel. You know?
Can I? Yeah.
Well, right.
Next week, why women
Questions
cheat.
are for you guys.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Can
but I mean, if you want to come back next week, Blake, because you
I'm
got
there.
some
Next week, I'm there. I got all the questions next week.
Hey,
All
Blake,
of them.
Blake, you saw how I had 2 questions.
I want all the
When she started
smoke.
talking, I had to write it down. When she started talking, I had 2 questions. I wrote it down in my head.
Okay.
Now, when she said 2 things, I'm going to remember next Friday. Ladies,
Right.
I'm going to be in the chat. Next Friday, I'm going to be in the chat. I got those 2 questions right there that both came from your original question.
You know,
And
the
I didn't
interesting
even
part
ask
about
them
this
because
conversation, the interesting part about this conversation is next week when you ask the women, I bet you their answer will be consistent versus the men. I bet you.
Sabrina, can I drop a little knowledge to the ladies in the chat and to whoever might be listening? I'll tell you a little thing that men do. Like, we are subconsciously figuring out what your threshold is for cheating, what your response and what your rebuttal is going to be for cheating. At some point in a relationship, we're going to ask you about a prior relationship to if cheating happened and what was your response to it. If you've ever in your life said that you have forgiven a man for cheating, we're going to feel like we got at least one pass.
Oh, man.
I know I shouldn't be saying that out loud.
My brother's standing alone on that one.
Oh my God.
He's standing alone on that one. No.
I'm telling you, man.
I would just play tic-tac-toe right now. Just X Tyrone.
Your response
should be,
if a man cheats, I'm out. Point blank, period. There should be nothing to talk about. And I'm telling you, that man's gonna second guess.
No.
Gonna lean towards not cheating a lot more.
That's facts.
Yo.
I haven't been there. But it sounds true.
Yeah. A man cheat on me, I'm out. I don't go back. Because I don't want him to think like, well, she forgave me that one time, so I can just act like what had happened, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been there long time ago when I was younger, you know, like I went back and guess what? I got the same thing. As a matter of fact, to be a little bit more specific, I dated someone 5 years ago and I never go backwards. I never date my exes, but this one ex, I said, you know, and it was 5 years later. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. And he was spitting the game, you know, like I'm different. He said all the good stuff. And I'm like, okay, it was really, really good for a few months. And then I realized this dude is worse now than when he was then. I was like, what the hell? Man, got in my car. I gave him a hug. I was like, you know, thank you for dinner. And that literally was the last time I talked to him. And I can't, because they do. If you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile if you allow them to.
That's facts.
Yeah, like I can't. No way, Jose. So I had this up here. Congo English. Thank you again. He says concur Anthony when Anthony gave his point of view. He said grown men vernacular. Is that what it says? Vernacular. I don't have my glasses on.
Vernacular. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Vernacular.
All right. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to say about why men cheat before we move on to the next topic? Okay. All right. So the next topic of discussion is, so you prefer her natural, or you just don't mind a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Like some BBL, you know, a little bit of 39 cc's, or you know what I'm saying? Like what do you guys prefer individually? Like do you not care? Like what do you prefer?
Blake.
Oh,
That's what we doing, Linda? That's what we doing?
You don't like it when it happens to you, right?
No, I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. So for me personally, I'll talk me and then what I think, right? So for me personally, I like proportion. I like a woman to be proportioned, right? So natural works if they're natural, and enhanced works as well, as long as it's within the believable range, right? To me, when you get outside of that believable range, oh, I can't say that. When you get outside of that believable range, I think that the attention that the woman gets is not necessarily the attention she intended on getting, right? So it's kind of like you could go out as a woman and you could have men looking at you and you can feel pretty and you can feel, good, or a person. Like, I won't even make it about women, right? Because it could be a person. You could feel good, right? But you could take somebody who looks ridiculous, so to speak, right? Maybe their outfit, whatever they're wearing, they're still going to get just as many looks. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people agree with your sense of fashion style, or any of those other things. So I think it's really a catch-22. I think it comes down to the individual. For me, I like believable, but I think the dudes are pretty much aligned with too much being too much.
Yeah, I agree. I like natural. You know what I mean? I love natural. You know what I'm saying? But if I have a partner who, feels like she'll be more happy with herself and in society doing this for herself, then I think that's okay. But I don't walk around and like Blake said, too much is too much. Like, fake doesn't really, I don't know. It's like turning me on sexually, but it's not really doing that much for me, as like, it's not gonna make me like and love you more. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. But yeah, I feel like a lot of girls do it for themselves, for their confidence and just them in society every day and how they're feeling. And everyone has their reasons. You have like, oh, maybe you lost a bunch of weight or whatever the case may be. So I don't like to discriminate, but I'm leaning more natural for sure. Don't get me wrong, it's nice. I knew a girl before and after a BBL, and the BBL was nice.
Okay. Anthony, what are your thoughts?
So I'm gonna say all day I'm a natural person, and don't get me wrong, the BBLs, the breasts, the butt, it looks nice. I'm just the type of person that stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? I know what's in my lane, what I can deal with, what I can afford. So with that being said, I don't put extra stress on myself. I love natural women, and women that's not has to run to this every day. Don't get me wrong, get your hair done, get your nails done, get your brow, whatever it is that makes you feel special. If you ask me at the end of the day, I will take you fresh face, waking up in the morning, beautiful in your natural element all day long. Like it just boils down to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a natural person. I want to see your natural habitat. I love you the way you are. If you enhance it, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I'll appreciate you as well. But I'll never tell you to go get those things. And I love a natural woman at the end of the day.
Yeah. P.O.?
Yeah, I feel like I prefer women to be natural, or just everything natural except for hair. You know what I mean? If you can't grow it, sow it. But if it don't match, don't attach. That's it.
Tyrone?
Earlier I mentioned, how women are looking or subconsciously looking for the men's ability to take care of the kids. I feel like for men, we're looking for the same thing. Me personally, I like the gym look over the club look. I think Chris Rock mentioned it, the OW, obvious weave, obvious work. Like, that ain't for me. I'm okay with some self-improvement. Like, if that's what you want, if that's what you need, I'm cool with that. But if it's too much, I think Blake mentioned it, if it's like unproportional, If it's obvious, then that's not my thing, right? It's Cinco de Mayo, so I'm gonna probably be a little bit too honest, but
Cheers.
we mentioned it earlier. Like, you can see a woman and we'll be like, she look expensive. You know what I mean? Like, obviously.
That's true. That's facts.
Right. We look at her and be like, she
Oh,
look
that's facts.
expensive.
That's
I'll
facts.
pass. You know what I mean? And she may be a great person, but if you know, I don't want to call it cheating, but if you just going to get the BBL and you ain't trying to go to the gym or nothing, like, for me, that's not my thing. If you need a tummy tuck, my lady need a tummy tuck, we gonna get a tummy tuck. My lady need a little uplifting, we gonna get some uplifting. You know what I mean? Because I like that too. And if that's what she want, then that's what she'll get.
Blake.
But
Well, I wonder, Rick, you want me to go again?
Oh, did you? Oh, did you?
I started it off. I started it off.
Oh, well, it looks like you got some more to say, so please include, and then we'll go to Johan.
I look like I have more to say? No,
Yes.
I said what I said. I think, so for me, I think, again, just me, and I think that everybody should do what makes them happy, right? I think we need to get back to a place where we can be okay with people not liking what we like. You know what I mean? Like, all because you like something doesn't mean that I automatically have to like it, and vice versa. I think we should be able to have our opinions. But I take, like, some of these, what I call, like, more extreme surgeries. It would be like if a dude told you he was working with 21 inches, right? It might be something you want to see, but it ain't something you're going to deal with. You're like, nah, I'm good, right? It's the same concept. Like, when somebody walks by and they have something that's not normal, you have no choice but to look to be like, you know, what's going on here? But at the end of the day, the reality is, it doesn't necessarily mean you want it or you're interested or, you know, that person is even attracted to you.
Oh man, this guy's spitting.
Johan.
Yeah, talk your shit, Blake. Talk your shit.
Honestly, all I can say is for the women in the chat and watching, you got literally 5 dudes right here. They all said natural, and there's nothing that's going to change with my response. But all I'm just going to say is the nuance that I heard from Blake, Lyndon, and Tyrone was, if it's an enhancement, it's okay. But if you are transforming yourself into somebody else, I don't want that. And I can understand that, because that kind of behavior is rooted in the lack of self-esteem, which essentially is a wound that you want me to heal when we are in a relationship. So the BBL is not going to solve that wound. Because if you have an issue with self-esteem, when we get in a relationship, we're still going to have that same issue somewhere else. So I think that as far as, like, being found by a good man, like Anthony, Paul, and, Landon, like, keep it natural, ladies, right? Tyrone, Blake, y'all all good mans.
he didn't say I was a good man.
Yo, give me the natural breasts, give me the stretch marks, give me whatever. If it comes down to it, we'll go to the gym together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then don't like P.O. said, if it ain't matching, don't attach it. And that's for the booty too, right? Let's just say it. So yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing what 21 inches look like.
Come on now.
I just want to see.
Damn right.
Like, I thought you were going to say like 12, 15. He said 21.
No way.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
come on, don't act like some of these BBLs don't be like way out of control.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, to be honest, I look at some of them and I wonder how you're supposed to even finagle. You know what I mean? Like,
how do you shit?
Yeah.
How do you shit? No.
So you're right, but some people's bodies look decent, like you said, Blake. To be able to enhance yourself, and it doesn't even look like you've had it. You know what I'm saying? And to have, like, see the before picture and then see after, and after doesn't look like I was about to say Black China, but she actually got everything reduced. But you know what I mean? Like, to look expensive.
Well, I think the other part of that, though, too, is really it's about why they're doing it. You know what I mean? Some people are doing it for women. Some people are doing it for themselves, and some people are doing it for men. And I think that really plays a role in, you know, what we see or what we receive when we see it. Like we can receive whether or not this was for you, or whether it's not for, you know, the community because you want that attention.
Yeah,
That's true, and it's so funny. I heard this saying just a while back, and there was a girl who was like, girls don't get dressed up for men; they get dressed up for other women. And it really resonated with me, and I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, you know, the whole woman sphere and like going out and getting dolled up, like it's like some Hunger Games shit out there, you know what I mean? And we don't even know that this shit's going on. So it's like most of the women are getting dressed up to look better than other women. It's not even about the dudes, you know what I mean? So that's a good point, Blake.
Do you think that when women do that, it's essentially because they don't find men worthy to be attracted for?
No, they want to flex on other women respectfully.
Yeah, it's like, you know, and look.
And what I'm trying to say by that, without interrupting you, Lyndon, is the women that you were just describing, generally in the case when I met them, and I was laughing because you repeated something I've recently heard too. Yeah. And what I'm generally like finding out is like those women necessarily never had good experiences with men. So they all think men's are dogs, no, men's are terrible. So at the end of the day, why do I have to dress up for a dude who's going to hurt my feelings anyway? So they just go out there just to hang out and show their girls that they're the ish. And then when you come around, you got to pass through all the girls to make it to the girl that's dressed up the
make
best.
It to the big boss. Yeah, make it to the final boss.
Exactly. You know, I don't know why, but like anytime I hear that, it's generally women that have not been in healthy relationship. That's just my experience.
I hear you on that. And I think, of course, like all these discussions, everyone has their own experiences. But living in Miami is just a little different. Like, you know, like women, you know, beautiful women in Miami are like, it's like currency. It's like the most expensive currency that you can find on the planet. They don't pay for anything. They don't pay for drinks. They don't pay for yachts. They don't pay for parties. They don't pay for nightclubs. It's nothing. And
they don't pay for rent.
They don't pay for rent.
They don't pay car notes.
They don't pay nothing. So coming from Miami, at least, you know, just from my experience, which is not good. It's not a good thing because we talk to a lot of guys, just honest working guys in this city. They will all tell you the same thing. You know, this city will jade a lot. You know, it jades a lot of women. You come in regular, and if you're attractive, you reach a certain point where you're like in Lamborghinis and yachts every weekend, and you believe this is your life now, you know, and then it becomes a game. There's nightclubs in Miami that won't even let you in the door unless you are that dolled up. There's no line. There's no, I'm going to pay my money. Everyone crowds at a rope. And if you look good enough, you get in, which is fucked up. You know what I mean? It just is. But in my experience, you know, the girls who are all going out are in serious competition with each other. You know what I mean? And it becomes a lifestyle and it becomes a norm. And then no one's from here too. You know, so Miami has kind of like a culture crisis because it's not like we're going back generations and your father's father grew up here and no one has really a sense of identity and love for where they live. And everyone's from somewhere else. You know, everyone who lives in Miami. And there is like, they're like, you know, who's the baddest bitch, you know, wars every night, you know, in the nightclub and on South Beach. So I think what you're saying is true, Johan. You know, you are right. Some of them are doing this for that reason. But there are girls, and especially a lot of younger girls, who are caught up in being the baddest bitch all the time.
And I agree, Lyndon. I think there's an extra part to that, though, that I think just kind of speaks volumes for everybody, right? I think we all, men and women, have some sort of body dysmorphia at some point, right? I think for most guys, At least for me, I recognize it when it comes time to like picking pictures, right? So if you ever take pictures and you tell somebody to pick out a picture that they like, it's never the picture that I like. You know what I mean? I'm like, but how do you like this picture? Because we don't see ourselves the same way other people see us. So I think a lot of times now that these surgeries are so prevalent, you know, I think that sometimes women may overcompensate for the image that they're trying to present for themselves, right? And I think men probably would do it too if they were able. Now we have these ab sculpting and all these other things that men are starting to do. So I don't think it's specific to women to where I'm saying it's just a woman problem. I'm just saying that some of this is just, you know, our problem in general. And this is just the way that the women go about coping with it. You know, I know a young lady who is beautiful. She got like BBL1, then BBL2, then BBL3, right? Then BBL4. And I'm like, but where are you trying to go with this? You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you already, like you were good and you're getting past that point, but it's not about how I feel or the other men that would be attracted to her feel. She's trying to fit the image that she has for herself. So I think a lot of times, you know, that can be a little dangerous as well.
Yeah, and just to tack on to that, Blake, it's also the social media epidemic that is everyone is trying to be what they see on social media, and you gotta keep up with the Kardashians, you know. Yeah, is what it is. You're on mute, Sabrina. I think you're talking.
Does anybody have anything else to say about this topic? Do you prefer natural or do you prefer Kim Kardashian?
I'm always gonna go natural. I love Kim Kardashian. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm always gonna go natural.
Yeah, I love Kim Kardashian too. Yes. Okay. Next topic is, do you men prefer to be single or do you really prefer to be in a relationship? Like, are you a relationship dude or are you like, I like single and it's not complicated, it ain't no drama? Like, which do you prefer?
Johan, why don't you pick that one up for us?
I knew.
Oh.
I was waiting.
So y'all just came off a TV show, Looking for Love, and y'all want to put me first. No, honestly, for me, because my parents were married for a very long time. Most of my brothers are married. When I say brothers, is friends, and then brothers by blood. I've always had a tremendous respect for marriage and love in the first place. I believe that the greatest thing that a man can ever do is like literally lay his life to love his wife, and that's from being a Christian man and believing what the Bible says. So for me, relationship has always been the way to go. Unfortunately, I've been at it for a while now, and I'm back single. So Sabrina, you met me 2 years ago. I was in a relationship, and now I'm single. So, but yeah, I prefer to be, in a relationship. It's more stable for us men. It's a little bit more of a motivator as well, outside of yourself that you want to accomplish. You're kind of putting yourself into a different level of purpose when you're loving just one woman, and that's just beautiful to me. So yeah, but again, relationship look different nowadays.
Let's go with Anthony.
All right, so it's simple. At this big age that I'm at right now, in the place where I am in life, my purpose is to be in a relationship. I don't care to be single right now. I feel like I'm at that Erickson stage where I need to be loving one person, coming home to one person, traveling with one person, and being in a relationship. There's nothing really out there for me with all the games that's going on out here in these streets. I really don't want to be for it. So I have to say relationship all day.
Let's go with Lyndon.
I knew you were gonna call me, man. I just had a feeling. Just backing on to what Anthony says, it's really all about where you are in life. I mean, sometimes, and I'm a like a lonely kind of guy. Not lonely, but like enjoy my solitude. I enjoy being by myself. But everything gets tiring after a while, and running out and being on the streets and doing that every night gets tiring. You know, explaining your life story to women and meeting new women every night gets tiring, and pretending to be interested in them, you know, or like pretending like you want to know about where you come from and where I come from, that gets tiring. So I just think it's where you're at, you know, like Anthony said, if you're at that point in life, because one thing I do believe is that a lot of people have to get it out of their systems. You know, I think you know, and again, this is Miami experience. Is that, you know, you meet a lot of girls who they need to get it out of their systems. You know what I'm saying? You meet a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, and they're trying to hang out, and you know what I mean? You're trying to buckle down. I don't think that works. You know what I'm saying? But everyone has their time. You know, it's just like eating at a restaurant. If you eat there 4 times a week, you're gonna get tired of the food.
Yeah.
So, you know, it depends on where you're at.
Right. PO.
I feel like I like to be in a relationship. I think that's my preference. Um, Being single is it. I think for me, it causes anxiety. Right, like I'm a creature of habit, so I like to wake up in the morning. I have my one type of cereal that I like. I like to eat that at a certain time and have my coffee at this time. And so when, having that kind of structure, you want to come home to your same person, know who's in your bed, and then when you think about it too, listen, imagine dating as a whole is expensive. Like depending on how many women you date, you can spend upwards to about $500 to $1,000 a week just on dates alone, right? And I mean, you calculate that, that's 4,000 dates or $4,000 in dates a month. Like, who wants to do that? You could have paid your girl or your lady or your fiance's mortgage, and it means something to her versus, you paying randoms and taking randoms out all month. And, and you really, you're just another dude out there helping them along and helping them get fed or helping them get their Louis bag or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I prefer a relationship.
Yeah. Tyrone.
Oh man. And, it's fresh in my mind because I literally just had this conversation with my mom, and she asked me, how come I never got married, blah blah blah. And I tried to think all the way back to like my roots and why I was the way I was. Um, a lot of it is due to, being in the house left alone as a kid, right? So I'm used to being alone. I'm used to making it work for myself. I'm used to not having, I'm used to losing, and I'm used to being in recovery mode. And sometimes it works that way for a person as well. If a person leaves, sometimes you're more apt to be like, all right, take it as a loss. I've been taking it as a loss almost my whole life. You know what I mean? I've been sitting in the classroom, by myself trying to make it work, being the only Black kid my whole life. So me being myself, me making myself happy has always been that. I've tried it all, right? One night stands, multiple 5-year relationships, being faithful during multiple deployments, highly televised relationships, you know, I tried it, and I always felt like the love thing and being in a relationship was the last thing that I needed to conquer and I needed to figure out.
Mm.
But in the end, I realized that um, I wasn't truly 110% happy with that.
Mm.
Maybe it was the person, there is someone that I do adore, but in the end, like me personally, Lyndon talked about it's about where you're at, where I am in life. right now, one, I'm not in a position to cultivate a prosperous relationship, right? Like
Mm.
I'm my mom's caretaker right now. So I can't even give a woman what I want to give her, emotionally. Right. So I probably wouldn't even go there right now. But then I also like the flexibility of only having to be responsible for myself.
Yeah.
My daughter's gonna be 14. Um, you know, I'm good. Like I've lived a good life. I'm doing well. And in the end, I feel like I subconsciously wanted to enjoy like the fruits of whatever those labors bring to me. And to me, right now, it's just a lot of flexibility. And remember earlier, I was saying I kind of learned to bask in the glory of honesty, and just being honest and just anyone that I meet, I tell them that same story. I can't do much for you emotionally right now. So
Yeah.
being single is my preference
Yeah.
right now. So
Oh,
that's what it is.
Blake. Right. I'm like,
Um,
Facts.
I definitely think, I'm 45 years old, right? I've been married and I've kind of checked a lot of the boxes that some people are still trying to check. I think that there's definitely value in being in a relationship. I find being in a relationship more valuable than being single. Um, but I try and be conscious as I move forward when I look for my relationships and I look for my person. I heard something many years ago. It said, um, women try and marry who they love, and men marry whoever's around when they're ready to be married.
mm,
So I try and make a conscious decision to make sure that I am still searching for someone who fits me, fits my life, fits the future, right? Not just today, but what my plan is going to look like 20, 30, and 40 years from now. And also making sure that she and I align for 40 years from now, right? I mean, simple things that people don't think about. We're in love. Your parents are elderly. We've been married. We've never had to talk about whether or not when your parents get older, they're going to come live with us and I'm going to have to take care of them or vice versa. Right? So, like, there's so much more that goes along with that. So I definitely value relationship, but I need a relationship with someone that I'm compatible with, right? So it doesn't mean that someone is not worthy or they're not good. I think we put too much on like good or bad when I think it really comes down to being equally yoked.
mm. This was such a good conversation. I got one more question. Oh my God. It's giving me. Okay, so the last question and topic of tonight is, when do you know you are in love? Not all at once.
Look, I mean, just in my experience, I don't know. It's always happened very quickly. Cause there's like stages, right? It's, I mean, for me, it's like at first, you meet and you're like, okay, like I want to hang out with this person more. This is like after, I don't know, a week or two, and then you get to like a month and you're like, these are weird feelings. Then you get to like 3. This is for me, and at 3 months, it's like, I think I love this person. But for 3 months, it's still a very quick time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if you go to a year, 2 year, 3 years without initially feeling that in the beginning stages. So I would have to say it's not off the bat, like at first sight. But if you're gonna be with someone for 10, 20, 30 years, then 3 months is technically it's kind of at first sight. So for me, I would say it's the beginning stages. When all the feelings are just overwhelming you.
Anthony.
How do I know I'm in love? By the stupid shit that I do. No. Man, I love hard. Unfortunately, I love really hard. Like I do the most. I'm making time. I'm putting in effort. I'm learning your day to day. I'm putting it with my day to day. I'm just combining lives like automatically, effortlessly. I will say, very effortlessly. Um, I'm helping you with your day to day on top of my busy day to day. So I definitely have to say, by the amount of effort that I'm putting in, and I'm going hard, I'm making time to see you. I want to plan vacation. I'm planning a future with you. I'm doing things like I'm saying we, us instead of I. I'm going to, I'm very purposeful and intentional with things when I'm in love with the person. So that's how I know it's triggering me. Like, damn, okay, cool. You need to reevaluate this because you falling for this person really hard. So those are my key things to realize. Okay, you need to take heed to this because you might be falling in love with this person.
Okay. P.O., are you still there? Because I know you have to get ready to go in a minute.
Yes, I am still here. So I'll yeah.
Before you
So I'll
leave.
give it I'll give it to you real brief. How do you know when you're in love? It's simple. You just wake up in the morning, you think about that person, and the moment you realize that that person is there or that person that you're with can hurt you, right? That you can be vulnerable with them, that you can, you can't see yourself without them. You know that, that's your person, you're in love. And, it's just, when you lay it all out there and, you just give everything that you got, and you do it even when you try to like power against it. You know what I mean? You fight to keep your emotion in check. You fight to keep your feelings to yourself, and they just pull them from you.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're in love.
Tyrone.
Okay. I know y'all probably don't watched or seen some of my journeys. Probably the most recent one y'all probably haven't seen, but I finally figured out that it is when, and I hope I say this right, it is when you are subconsciously identifying what makes your mate happy, and you are subconsciously doing those things to make that person happy, but without sacrificing your boundaries at the expense of your own happiness. I think in the end, in short, that is when you're in love. You may feel that way kind of at the beginning, and we kind of talk about, and I probably shouldn't say this, but we talk about like post-nut clarity at the beginning of the relationship. Like you got to get past all that part and really think about how you feel about that person, when things are bad. Do you still have nice things to say? How do you describe your person to someone else when you're upset? I think that is a good indicator of how you truly feel about that person. One of the ways that I was going to explain it was because I figured out what love isn't. So I was going to base what love is based on what I understand what love isn't. So love isn't sacrificing your own boundaries because you don't want to hurt the person that you're with, right? You should be able to say, it's not my responsibility to care how you feel about my boundaries. This is what makes me happy, and this is what I'm going to stick with. And if I can't be happy, then there's no way that I can make you happy.
That's right.
As well. So
that's right. Yes, Blake.
You brothers are so romantic. I just want to give it to y'all.
Damn.
For me, I think I know I'm in love when I am ready to make your journey my journey. When my journey includes making sure that you hit every branch and everything that you want along your journey. When I have that desire to make sure that you succeed at everything that you want and everything that you want to accomplish, I know that I am fully vested in you at that
Can I get a slow clap? Yeah, yes. Tonight. Oh my God, y'all. Like, I'm over here, like, I got goosebumps on my arms right now. Tonight was so good. I would have never thought in a million. You know what? I just want to say shout out to me.
Big up yourself, Sabrina. Big up, big up, big up, big up.
Oh my God, y'all, this was so amazing. So much. I'm kind of speechless a little bit. I just want to say thank y'all so much. Just to let you guys know, Paul did have to go. He is actually out the country. So he stopped in to be with us tonight. So shout out to you, P.O. Thank you so much. But I just want to say thank you guys so much. Y'all are all so amazing. Hence why you're here with me tonight. And because y'all had time and made time for me. Okay. But yeah, I definitely because I have talked to each and every one of you, personally. And I love how you think, like how your brain, how you put things together. And each and every one of you are so different. You know what I mean? So to have all of you come here in this one place and to discuss these topics for women to watch, my viewers, my subscribers are 35 to 65 women, 80 to 20. So this is really good. And this is really, really insightful for them. And I know they appreciate it. Shout out to you guys in the chat, because y'all have been off the chain. Y'all have shown so much love to these men, these kings here tonight. And I just want to say, I love you, my soulmates, for showing up tonight for us. So, oh God, any last remarks or anything? Definitely say that if you want to put out any affirmations, any comments, and also to let everybody know where they can find. So how about we do that? Offer affirmations, comments, and then we'll get to where they can find you on socials.
So I would like to take the time. I think that we as men and as Black men need to do a better job at celebrating each other.
Yes.
So, I've only spent some time with two of these gentlemen, and that being Lyndon and Ant. I got to spend time today with Tyrone and my other brother, Johan. And they're great, but I have personal experience with the other two. Ant is a great guy. I appreciate Ant. Ant has always been what Blake meant to say guy for me. So I want to applaud him for that, because I say something, and he'd be like, what Blake meant to say was.
That's fine. No, that's true. That's true.
And
that's true.
Also, and also, I think that one of the most underrated people on my show and underrated personalities, he's funny. Lyndon, I will tell you that Lyndon is a fire artist. He has music out. He has a song named Maury. The song is fire. It's all of his personality. He doesn't promote himself ever. So I want to take this time to promote Lyndon. Let it be known. Go to his IG. On his IG, he has the link for all of his music. Look for Maury. Maury is my favorite song. He has quite a few of them. But definitely check Lyndon out and support him, like I like to support all my brothers on the panel.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. I love you, man. I love the both. I love everyone here. But thank you, Blake. That's really special, Blake. I appreciate that, man. That's love. Thank you so much.
What I want to do is affirm Tyrone. Right now you're probably going through something that I've went through a couple years ago, which is basically stopping what you're doing to care for the first person who ever cared for you. Unfortunately, my journey did not end the way I wanted, but I just want you to know that you're doing the right thing. Number one, you're on the right path. It's going to make you happy wherever you're going. and you're gonna appreciate it for the rest of your life. So no matter what that journey looks like, whenever it's tough, remember why you started, because she needs you. And whenever you are enjoying the moment with her, make sure you can stop and remember the memories. Take a camera, record it, spend time with her as much as you can. And I love you guys all. It was great to be on here tonight. Sabrina, you know, I always believe that God has great things for you. And that's why I decided to jump on. Blake, Landon, Anthony, I don't even know how much courage it is to go on TV and trying to find a wife. So I can barely come on here and ask for that. So I just wanted to say again, thanks for having me. You guys are all incredible being, and especially Taiwan, continue to do what you're doing, man. And I'll be praying for you.
Real quick, Johan, did you not get to answer the last question? When do you know you're in love? You didn't answer. You need to. I'm sorry, guys. You have to answer. I'm sorry.
I was trying to get away with that one.
I could tell. He was like, I was like, he froze.
The reason why I wasn't really excited about answering the question is because a lot of people never get excited about my answer. And I think that you know when you're in love whenever you are collected enough data in your dating stage to make a choice to love that person. And that goes back to something that Blake said, finding somebody who complements your lifestyle. Tyrone talked about being able to sacrifice and being unselfish, right? Like Lyndon talked about just that feeling. That feeling is becoming unselfish, that you're leaving room within your life to love someone, you know? And Anthony, I kind of had a very practical answer, but I wasn't able to really answer because all the answers were great. But like when you gathering all this information and you know that this person is always going to have your back no matter what, you naturally start looking for their best interest in everything you do. So even when a temptation to cheat arises, you know it's going to hurt them so much that you'd rather hurt yourself at that moment in whatever flesh you're feeling, because you know you don't want to hurt whoever you got at home. So I think, you know, the more you become unselfish, the more you love someone. And that's maybe the easiest way to realize that. But subconsciously, we collecting data to make that choice.
And NTR did a super chat, $9.99, just so Johan could get to answer the last question.
Johan, you're
like, no, they're gonna make sure.
Johan and Anthony are real popular in the comments section.
Absolutely.
Trying to have they want to know when they can be in love.
Yeah, somebody's trying to have your babies. I think when in Rome is trying to have your babies. But shout out to Congo English for the super chat. He says, I don't think next week's show, give it up for the ladies. I don't think next week's show or any other will top this panel. Replay several times for me. Confidence, humility, transparency, discernment, accountability, and high-end learning session. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Congo is a soulmate. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. So it's a couple of other questions before we get off. Johan, everybody wants to know where you're from. Go.
I'm from Gabon. So it's a French colony right on the west coast of Africa. So yeah, it's very small. So a lot of people don't know where Gabon is, but that's where I'm from.
All right. And the women in the chat earlier, they want to know, I don't know, you guys can plead the fifth. It is up to you, but they want to know, are you single? Or are you dating? Are you in a relationship? Like, what are y'all? We don't have to answer that question.
Oh man.
I'm single. I'm single.
Everybody froze.
Yeah.
I'm single.
Everybody.
Bad connection.
I
Bad
didn't want to talk over anybody. That's what the hesitation was. I didn't want to talk over anybody. But I'm single. I'm single.
Yeah, Anthony put it in the chat. He was the only one. Everybody was like, okay. Anyway, Tyrone is single. Oh, Tyrone did. He did put it in the chat. Lyndon?
No, I'm not single.
Johan?
Wait, I didn't hear the Lyndon's answer real quick. No, but I'm single. I'm single. Yeah, I took some time off from dating, and Now I'm opening up myself, slowly and surely.
Hey man, ready to love Dallas, bro. They're casting Ready to Love Dallas right now,
And-
yo.
Oh, wait, by the way, I'm in Denver, Colorado. So
That's not too far from Dallas, bro. It's
That's pretty far, Linda. That's pretty far.
Yeah, that's pretty far. That's
Yeah.
pretty far.
And Blake, are you single or married or dating or what are you?
Yeah, I'm dating. I'm openly dating.
Okay. All right. And last thing before we let everybody know where we can find you, Lyndon, can you spit us some music? Everybody is asking
What?
where they can hear your music.
Oh, you gotta search my name. You gotta search my name on all streaming platforms, Instagram, every social media platform, and every streaming platform. Apple Music, Spotify,
Spit us
Tidal.
some.
Spit something.
Spit something.
Yeah. Any problem I sorted. I be the father and Mary. Yeah. Any problem I sorted. I be the father and Mary. That's it. That's
All right, guys, let's go around. Tyrone, Blake, Johan, Lyndon, Anthony, let's go around the room. Let everybody know where they can find you on all social platforms.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone. You can find me at Ty Wilson 21. My next talk will be this Sunday morning. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we're going to start the mental health talks again. This Sunday will be a talk about what is mental health and mental health awareness. So come find me Sunday morning at 10 a.m. I'll announce very shortly. But anywhere else, Ty Wilson 21.
Blake.
You can catch me on IG at champ_Fenimore, CHAMP_FENMORE, and recently started a podcast called The Gentleman's Code, where we have similar conversations to this, minus the women. But it is for everyone. Everyone is welcome, and it's just to get the male perspective, as we talk man to man. And that's going to be Gentleman's Code, and it's on YouTube right now.
Hey, you gotta invite me, bro. Yeah, you haven't invited me. I'm a gentleman.
Well, so all right. So I recently stood up the channel, and I'm just getting ready to do content right now. But as YouTube brothers know, I left Florida it was supposed to be for a couple weeks, and now it's been a couple months. But I built the studio downstairs in Florida, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pull both of these things off. But this week, whether I'm here or whether I'm there, I'm going to start recording. So I'll definitely have you on. And of course, I appreciate the love.
I'd be honored, please.
I'm pulling up.
Okay.
Johan?
Yeah, thanks again, Sabrina, for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. I'm not doing anything special like Tyrone and the rest. I was not on Ready to Love, but I do mortgages. So anybody who's looking to buy a house, refinance, hit me up. I'm licensed in 35 states, so I probably do have your states. So, so I'm just a regular dad who does mortgages, and I'm just happy to be on here. So thanks again for having me. That's all about it. And you can find me on Instagram at Yokita7, my page and private. So welcome to come on board, and I welcome you guys. So, yeah.
Yay. Lyndon, let them know where they can find you on social.
Yeah. It's just my name. I realize I'm the only one that doesn't have my name tagged in this thing. I think you sent a message, but I forgot to hit you back. But my name on social media is my name as it appears here on the screen. It's just my first name and last name on everything, all socials, Instagram. Anywhere there's social media, you can find me in any streaming platform. You can find me. So just, open your Apple Music or your Spotify or your Tidal, type my name in, and enjoy, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Anthony?
All right, so real quick, Sabrina, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. You are beautiful inside, out, and every which way. Tyrone, brother, I hear you. I take care of my 82-year-old grandmother. So trust me, I understand where you're coming from. Keep your head up, man, and your hard work and dedication will pay off. You know, Blake, Lyndon, you already know RTL for life. Lyndon, Broken, check that out. Forget Maury, I like Broken.
And then
That's my jam right there. Johan, I appreciate you, brother. You know, I'm gonna follow you too. You're an amazing dude. You can find me at IM_Anthony Martin NP. I have a Voyage article coming out in a few days. Other than that, I'm a regular healthcare worker, you know, doing my thing, giving back to the community. I'm here for it all. Appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you again so much for being with us tonight. Tonight was so amazing. If you have not liked this video, make sure you like this video. If you did enjoy the discussion, if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that black notification bell so every time I go live or upload a new video, you will be the first to know. And definitely comment down below and let us know what you thought about this discussion. Anyway, other than that, I will see you here on Monday at 8 p.m. with The Missing Link with Natasha. All right, guys, talk to you later.
Thank you, Sabrina. We love you.
Bye. Woo!